Good evening. I'd like to call our meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to ask our district clerk, Deb Carpenter, to step forward for her oath of office. Deb, please repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the school district clerk.
Of the school district clerk.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you.
Again.
Again.
The next order of business is to provide Emily the oath of office, and that will be given to by our district clerk.
I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a Board of Education member
of a Board of Education member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Next, we will be giving Dave the oath of office by our district clerk, Deb Carpenter.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a Board of Education member
of the Board of Education member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Can I get an approval of the reorganization meeting agenda? Any questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion approved. Next, we will have the election of our board president. Could I ask for a motion to nominate the board president?
I nominate Jeff Casey as president of the board for 2026. I believe that Jeff's service as board president-elect and vice president, along with his legal and corporate experience, have prepared him for this position. Jeff currently serves on the Audit Oversight Committee as well as past service on the Communications Board Insight Committee. I am confident that his capacity to listen to community stakeholders, his thoughtfulness, insightfulness, and steadiness as a leader will make him an outstanding president.
Thank you, Robin. Are there any questions or discussion? Can I get a second? Any other questions or discussions, items? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, let the record show it was unanimous, and I'd like to congratulate Jeff on his presidency for the 25-26 school year. At this point, we'd like to give the oath of office to our president, Jeff Casey, by our district clerk.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
duties
of the Board of Education president
of the Board of Education president
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
All right, Mike, your time in the spotlight is up. At this time, I'd ask for a nomination for Vice President of the Board, please.
I would like to nominate our current Vice President, Sarah Pelucio, to be our Vice President again this year. Sarah is an incredibly dedicated member of our Board of Education. She serves as our legislative liaison, PTSA liaison, and audit oversight committee member. Additionally, she holds the position of legislative director for Monroe County School Boards, and she's an active member on our district operations, information exchange, and legislative committees for Monroe County. And she was also instrumental on our ad hoc advocacy team this year. Sarah lives our district core values every day. She's unwaveringly student-centered. She fosters a collaborative and supportive environment for all. And Sarah also uses her vast knowledge of the issues that face public education today to ensure our entire board is well-informed and fully prepared for any eventuality. Her keen and critical eye on board issues, coupled with her calm and respectful demeanor, continue to make her an invaluable leader for our board and for our district.
Thank you, Emily. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Robin. Any comments or discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we will administer the oath of office to the superintendent by the district clerk.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of
of superintendent of schools
superintendent of schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Next, may I have a motion to approve appointments for the next school year, which you've had an opportunity to review in your packets? Renee? Thank you, Dave. Are there any comments or discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Motion carried. May I have a motion to accept the designations for the next school year, which you've had an opportunity to review? Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Sarah? Any comments or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries. May I have a motion to accept the authorizations for the upcoming school year? Thank you, Dave.
Second.
Thank you, Robin. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, I just want to share with the community the board committee appointments for the upcoming school year. Monroe County School Boards Association committees. Myself and Mr. Pirro will sit on the executive committee. Leadership committee will be myself and Vice President Sarah Pelucio. Legislative committee will be Emily and Dave. The district operations committee will be Robin and Emily. The information exchange committee will be Kim and Emily. And the steering committee will be Sarah. And for our district board committees for the upcoming school year, our legislative liaison will be Sarah. Our board member to the Teacher Center Policy Board will be Emily Kay. Our town, village, school district leadership will be myself and Sarah Pelucio. The Audit Oversight Committee will be Sarah, Robin, and myself. The District Advocacy Committee will be Mike, Sarah, and myself. Community Engagement Committee will be Renee, Kim, and Dave. And the Ad Hoc Policy Committee will be Emily, Kim, and Renee. With that, we'll transfer to the regular agenda for our regular Board of Education meeting. And I'd ask for a motion for an approval of the agenda. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Emily. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Next, may I have a motion for approval of the minutes from the June 17th, 2025 Board of Education meeting? Thank you, Dave and Sarah. Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Board of Education report. The Monroe County School Boards Association meetings have not started yet, but I'll open up the floor if any members have anything they wish to share. No, nothing at this time. That will move on to our financial report. Mr. Heisler. Sorry.
Good evening.
Hold on one second.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Apologies. We do have a couple more Board of Education items to address. The first will be the annual adoption and signing of the board governing mission. It's been tradition that the board will read each component of the mission, and then we will have a vote to adopt it for the upcoming school year. So with that, I will start with the Pittsford Central School District Board of Education serves students and families in our community by
partnering with the superintendent and setting strong, clear direction and policy for leading the district's strategic and operational planning,
Monitoring and evaluating the district's educational, administrative, and financial performance against clearly defined standards and objectives.
Ensuring that the district possesses the necessary human, financial, and other resources.
Creating opportunities for collaboration amongst established community partners to contribute to the district's effectiveness.
valuing and promoting positive and productive relationships within the district and across the broader community.
Protecting the privacy and confidentiality in matters involving students, personnel, legal, and contractual matters.
Valuing and promoting a positive and productive working partnership between the Board of Education, board leadership, and the superintendent.
understanding the difference between the Board of Education's governance role and the superintendent's operational role, and embracing the value in both.
Providing professional development for and engaging board members in the governance process, and developing the general skills of all board members, including but not limited to skills related to communication, business, finance, advocacy, etc.
Promoting active participation and engaged teamwork among all board members.
Annually conducting board self-assessments and goal setting while actively advocating in areas that are in the best interests of the district.
Practicing the highest level of integrity and ethics. Thank you. With that, may I have a motion to accept the board's governing mission?
Thank
Thank you, Kim.
Second.
Thank you, Sarah. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Next, we'll have the adoption and signing of the communications agreement for the Board of Education. And similar to the board's governing mission, we will read the various components of that. The Pittsford Central School District Board of Education members agree that
We will act and make decisions not as a collection of 7 individuals, but as only a unit comprised of its members.
We will assist one another and our constituents as they navigate the protocols and processes for communication with district administrators and staff.
Issues and concerns raised by constituents shall be timely shared with the board leadership and the superintendent and with individual board members as appropriate.
We recognize that others see us as always wearing the board hat.
conversation for the purpose of influencing others or sharing opinions on matters before the board, with the exception of public board meetings, is prohibited.
We will be respectful listeners, modeling the civility we expect from others during board meetings, at school-related functions, and out in the community.
We will communicate at board meetings functions by respectfully sharing ideas and perspectives.
The Board of Education president is the spokesperson for the board. However, all board members will be accessible to listen to the community members' feedback.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion to accept the communications agreement for the next school year? Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Emily. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. And I'll also note that the board is also executing its annual code of ethics tonight. With that, I'll turn it over to the financial report. Mr. Heisler.
Good evening. First on the financial report, as always, with the consideration of the assessments that we made, the only major financial thing would be the sales tax in Monroe County for 2025, $1,112,000.
May I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report, May 31st, 2025?
So moved.
Thank you. Are any comments or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Second on the agenda for your consideration is the acceptance of the Monroe One Voting Transportation Contract. Extended school year 2025.
May I have a motion to accept the Monroe One BOCES transportation contract for extended school year 2025? Thank you, Kim.
Second.
Thank you, Sarah. Any comments or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries.
Third item tonight would be student transportation contract from Reorganization.
May I have a motion to accept the student transportation contract, Monroe One BOCES school year? Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Kim. Are there any comments or discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Fourth item tonight would be the draft one restated municipal cooperative agreement resolution for.
May I have a motion to accept the RESH 1 restated municipal cooperative agreement resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Robin. Emily? Are there any comments or discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
In your consideration would be the budget transfer request for the road paving for the community.
May I have a motion to accept the budget transfer request for the Barker Road cabling PA system?
So moved.
Thank you, Sarah.
Second.
Thank you, Renee. Are there any comments or discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Next for your consideration is resolution authorizing the superintendent to approve change orders for the typo project phase 2 machine boarding. Subsequently, we will bring the entire list of change orders forward.
May I have a motion to accept the resolution authorizing the superintendent to execute change orders and allowance authorizations during capital construction project? Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Emily. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Public position.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll have the Human Resources Report from Mr. Clark.
Thank you very much and good evening. For your consideration, we have the professional staff report. We have 1 administrator appointment, 2 certificated staff appointments, 2 certificated staff increase in FTE, 1 certificated staff correction in salary. We have 5 school-related professional resignations. We have 1 building administrative substitute resignation and 1 building teacher substitute resignation. We have building substitute positions ending. We have fall coaching staff and salaries, and teacher and paraprofessional substitutes for you.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the professional staff report? Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Kim. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. For your consideration is the support staff report. We have 1 clerical resignation, 1 transportation appointment, 4 custodial maintenance summer helper appointments, 1 custodial resignation, 1 food service resignation, and 1 food service resignation for retirement.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the support staff report?
So moved.
Thank you. Are there any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Next for your consideration, we have the per diem substitute and special salaries for the 25-26 school year.
May I have a motion to accept the per diem substitute and specialist salaries for the 25-26 school year? Thank you, Kim. Dave? Any comments or discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. And finally, we have a memorandum of agreement on the consent agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the special education reports from Ms. Woods.
Good evening. The Committee on Special Education and Preschool Special Education recommendations are on the consent agenda.
Thank you. And next, we'll have the superintendent's report from Mr. Pirro.
Thank you, Jeff. We will need an executive session for the employment of particular persons.
May I have a motion for an executive session for the employment of a particular person? Thank you, Emily. Renee, any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
I'd like to thank our PTSA for 2 significant donations. The first was the donation of 8 new art panels valued at approximately $1,800 for Park Road Elementary School. And the second is a donation of $2,000 from the Thornell Road PTSA towards the purchase of furniture and storage space for the cafeteria at Thornell Road. So again, back-to-back board meetings with an appreciation for our PTSA. Also, we do have policy approvals, second reading, which is on the consent agenda. I share this more for public consumption. That approved after this evening will be policy 5689, titled Maximum Temperature for School Buildings and Indoor Facilities. Policy 5720, Transportation of Students, and Policy 7316, Use of Internet-Enabled Messaging Devices during the school day. I have a few other announcements. First, I'd like to give a shout out to Masood. Masood will be our student board member, rep from Mendon High School, and she is here early to observe our board meetings, which is amazing. And I have to tell you, she came with so many accolades for those that have worked with her at the high school from all of her teachers and other staff and administrators. So welcome. And we'll be in touch soon. I'd also like to thank the over 60 stakeholders that participated in today's full-day workshop, which was focused on a framework to assist specifically with organizational change as well as personal change. The knowledge gained from today will be applied to tomorrow's workshop while we discuss regulations and best practices surrounding, I guess the easiest way to put it is our cell phone policy, which was approved tonight with the title Use of Internet-Enabled Messaging Devices During the School Day. So while the policy is approved, our next steps tomorrow will be looking at how to implement the policy in the best way possible, understanding that this really is a third order change for our students and for staff and for parents and families and guardians. And so we'll be looking for a lot of feedback tomorrow, and then our committee will move forward the following week to take that feedback and bring to the Board of Education and to the community what our regulations will look like, and then what best practices we will be applying to the cell phone policy. Any questions there as far as process or procedures or next steps? Okay, Masood, how do you feel about that? Great. Awesome. Okay, we'll be looking for your help for sure. During our last board meeting, I also shared that the governor recently, at that point, passed the state budget, which entailed universal free meals. And I did share one thing incorrectly to the board and to the community, and that was that we are able to opt into the program at any time during the school year. Since our last board meeting, we've received different guidance that looks like it's the final guidance from the state clarifying that should we move in this direction, we must start either this September or next September. And so we do not have the luxury of saying we need a couple months to prepare for this, and we want to start in November or December or January of this year. So we have to make a decision in short order if we can start this September or if we need to start the following September. I think it's also important to note that for practical reasons around this decision, our food service department needs about a 6-week lead time to prepare for the following school year. And so that will give us about 1 to 2 weeks from today to make a final decision regarding whether or not we're able to move into the Universal Free Meals program starting this fall. Again, at our last board meeting, I shared that we will be putting out a survey to gather community feedback to help steer us in one direction or another. And we sent a survey out to approximately 6,200 parents and guardians. And this yielded approximately 2,500 respondents in a week, which is significant, with the large majority of responses favorable relative to opting into the Universal Free Meals program. Also, since the last board meeting, I shared that we will be forming a food service committee in short order, which we have. And we have 4 PTSA volunteers to serve on that committee. We have a elementary and a secondary administrator on the committee. We have 2 leaders in our food service department. Our communications specialist will be joining. Our interim assistant superintendent of business will be on the committee, and we anticipate adding students to the committee very shortly. The first meeting will be held this Thursday, and the committee's work will be guided by 2 consultants that we have hired since our last board meeting that specialize in food service. Prior to this Thursday's meeting, the consultants started today and will continue tomorrow visiting our schools. They will be reviewing our kitchen areas. They'll be reviewing our equipment, our service lines. As based on the survey results, we're anticipating an uptick of about 25 to 30% more lunches being served, meaning we have to ask ourselves, do we have the capacity across our nine schools to make this shift for September? I don't know the answer to that at this point. So we're going to lean on the consultant to assist us. The consultant will assist with feasibility factors regarding our capacity to provide universal free meals. Again, given the tight timeline, we're hoping to make a decision within the next 2 weeks and then communicate the decision, as well as other short and long-term plans associated with our food service program. Regardless of the decision, the committee and consultants will work throughout the school year to assist our district in making meaningful changes specific to the food service program. So I wish I could share at this point that yes or no. I can share that the majority of our stakeholders are in favor of the universal free meals. And again, I believe we need to listen to our community. The biggest question right now is, can we pull this together in short order to be prepared in September? It's very possible that the consultants after the next 2 days may come to us and say, you're in good shape. They may come back to us and say, you need to increase serving lines, or they may say you need to double your capacity in some of your kitchens, which may cause problems or not. But there's still other factors we're pulling together before we can make a decision regarding September. But again, given the timeline, we have to do this quickly. We do have the biggest piece of data that we were hoping for, which is how the community feels. And so we will do our best to make it happen, but we also want to make sure that if we're going to move forward with the universal free meals in September, that we're able to do it well, and that we have the capacity to do it, so that we're not solving one problem and creating others. Should we not be able to do it in part or in whole this year, I know that our continued work with our committee will be what do we need to do to improve it or make it happen in September of the following school year. So again, I'd like to just pause and see if there's any questions regarding process or timelines from the board. Everyone? Okay. So certainly more to come in the very near future. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And may I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Second.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Robin. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor? The motion carries. Is there any old business? No. I just wanted to mention in the new business portion of the meeting, I want to take an opportunity to thank Robin Scott for her 2 years of leadership and as the president of our board. Robin, thank you for your leadership, your friendship. I've enjoyed working with you and look forward to continuing to work with you. Thank you. We did not receive any public comment this evening, and our next regularly scheduled meeting will be August 12th at 5 p.m. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn? Thanks, Emily. Thank you, Kim. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.